friends, today is day 6 of BookMas, so we are going to talk about the 12 books by authors that I read before that are coming out in 2024 that I am dying to read. Really, it's going to be 24 books, but I want to make my list 12 books so it's more realistic that I will finish it in 2024. So the first 12 books I'm going to talk about are going to be sequels that I read in 2023 and would love to get around to in 2024. Just because I read them, they're high on my list. So I'm going to make a list like that. And then the other 12 books are just books from authors that I've read before that aren't, they're more like companion. They're companion elements written by the same author, but not necessarily connected, or if they are connected, it's very, very vaguely. So yeah, let's get into it. I tried to make it, these are books that I'm actually interested in, and I also tried to make it that it is books that are coming out, so I'm not like top heavy. All of these releases end in July. I think one comes out in August. So I may reassess at the end of August and just see like what is coming out in the second half of the year that I really, really want. But I just tend to never make a lot of progress on these lists. So that is why I'm doing it this way. So the first book that comes out in January is Emily Wilde's Map of Other Lands. Here is a photo. I'll be honest, I didn't love the first book in the series a lot. Like I struggled with it a little bit. But I want to give the audio a shot for book 2. I do have an e-arc of it, so I may have to read it physically. But I really want to give the audiobook a shot before I dive into book 2 because I think it needs a reread because I struggled with it. I like the concept of it. It gave me like Veronica Speedwell vibes, but I just struggled with the pacing and the characters a little bit. But I am going to put it on this list because I do want to read it and see how I feel. This had fae elements, and I really did like the concept. I just thought the execution was not my favorite. I know that Heather Fawcett has wrote other things, so maybe I will give this book a shot for sure, but definitely I want to try because it is on this list and it is a January book, which is hard to find for my list. So that is the first book I wanted to chat about. The next book I want to chat about is Destroy the Day by Bridget Kimmerer. This also comes out in January. Here is a photo. This is the second book, the final book in the Defy series. I really like the series. It's really, really fun. It's kind of a unique take on a pandemic plot. I like Bridget Kimmerer's writing style. I also have to read her other series, which I'm a little bit farther behind on, but I really liked book 2. It took the characters in like a really different direction, and I'm hoping that I continue to like this series because this one was really, really good. And then it's probably should be in the companion section, but I'm going to put it here because it is like you have to read them in order. Well, I think you do. And it is an adult book. It's called Ashes of You by Catherine Cowles. It is book 5 in the Lost and Found series, and I have loved her writing. She writes romantic suspense. There is no cover, unfortunately, at the moment, but I have loved this series. They're all like loosely connected. They all have elements of like romantic suspense, which I'm also really liking, and this is a single dad romance. We have seen him continually in all the other books, and the other books are really, really exciting. So I'm really excited for that. So that is why this book is on this list. And yeah, I think it's my first contemporary romance that's ever made a checklist, which is really exciting for me. And then the next book that is coming out in March that I'm really excited for is Royal Scandal by Amy Carter. I will attach a photo here. This book is called Royal Scandal. It comes out in March. And I don't know much about it. I know it's a sequel. I know the first one was like very like bloody and like scandally, and it kind of gave me American Royal vibes. And this one is about an American girl who is the illegitimate princess to the throne in England, and things go from there. I liked book 1. It gave me a lot of vibes that I was happy for, so I'm really excited and hoping that I'll get to read this one soon. I always try to get an e-arc. I never do, but I always try. But yeah, I'm excited for this one. It gives me a lot of the vibes that I'm really liking for, especially because now American Royals is over. This will help me quench that thirst. But yeah, again, it comes out in March. And then the next book that I'm really excited for, I mean, I have liked this series, and that is Finley Donovan Rolls the Dice. And it comes out in March. Here is a photo. I like this series. I think I like book 3 more than most people. I didn't really like book 2, but I'm curious how long this series can sort of continue, just because I think it's getting a little bit flat. I'll be curious to see how book 4 plays out for me, and then I'll kind of make a decision on the future of it. I don't know if there's going to be more books, but it is definitely like a cozy mystery element series with some fun vibes, a little bit over the top, a little bit unbelievable, but I am still excited to read it. And it comes out in March, so that is why it's on this list. There is a cover, so if I haven't attached it, I will attach it here. And then the next book that is coming out in, oh, I have no April. Oh, that's okay. The next one that's coming out in May is Mirror of the Beast by Alexandra Bracken. This is the sequel to Silver in the Bone, which I liked. I really enjoyed it. It made my favorite read shelf, so I'm really excited for this one, especially because book 1 left out on a pretty big cliffhanger, and I remember I was just sort of waiting to get to that point, so I really am excited to read Mirror of the Beast. Alexandra Bracken is one of my favorite authors, so I'm really excited for anything that she is writing. And let's attach, I don't think there's a photo for this one, but if there is, I'll attach it here. But again, it comes out in May. Another companion book that has a sequel coming out is Heir Apparently by Karen MacDonald. This is the sequel to The Prince and the Apocalypse, which I read. I think I read it in August, if I'm remembering correctly. And it's basically like the world's about to end and these two characters kind of get stuck together, and then things go from there, and then they end in a very, very precarious situation. So I'm excited to read that. It comes out in June. I know June is the month of the Amazing Readathon, so hopefully it will be a quick read for me as well. And yeah, that is coming out in June. I have a few books coming out in July that I'm really excited for, so that is why this list may get reassessed in July, especially with a game I'm working on. I think that these will get read pretty quickly. Hopefully. One is The Grandest Game by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is the second book, but really the 5th book in her Inheritance game series. The Brothers Hawthorne book 2, and I'm really excited for this one. And here is the new cover, which we just got revealed, so here it is. I'll attach it, but I'm really excited for this one. I felt like when I read Brothers Hawthorne, I was pleasantly surprised because it definitely did what I wasn't expecting. It kind of took the world in a different direction, and I really enjoyed that. And then the next book coming out in July is Heart of the World by Amy Kaufman. Oh my god, I loved Isles of the Gods. You'll have to watch my top reads of the year to see where it ranks up and all that, but I love that book so much. And we're getting the sequel in July. We have to wait a little bit while longer, but I'm perfectly content with that because I want her to make it the best that she could be. And yeah, I'm really excited to see where those characters go. And also, I'm really excited. So there is, a photo just got revealed, so I will attach that here. But again, it's coming out in July. If you have not read Isles of the Gods, please do. Definitely a really solid read in my opinion. And the next book that I want to chat about is The Second Son by Adrienne Tooley. This is the first time Adrienne Tooley has ever wrote a series. This is the sequel to The Third Daughter. It comes out in July 2024. Here is a photo. I'm really excited for this one. And the last one on this list that I can see, I'm probably missing a couple, but definitely the front half of the year is always more balanced than the second half of the year because dates aren't really announced yet, is Firebirds by KJ Armstrong. This is supposed to come out in August. I see an August date and I see a July date, but I'm pretty sure on her Instagram it says August. So yeah, this is a sequel to Nightbirds, which I read last year. My favorite podcast is on a break. I hope that they come back because I like hearing Amy and Kate talk about these books. But yeah, so those are the 12/13 books that I'm really excited to read sequel-wise in 2024. Now let's get into the books by the authors that I just have read before. Maybe they're a new series, maybe they're a companion book that I am just excited to read more of by this author. So yeah, let's get into that. Hey friends, I'm back. So I'm here to talk about, in this section of the video, 12 books by authors that I've read before that are not really series. They're more like companions, standalones, yada yada yada. But I have read them in 2023, so I want to keep the momentum going and I want to keep reading them in 2024 because they worked for me. And I'm going to give you a bit of a summary if I can, but a lot of these I don't really know. I just thought that it sounded cool. So the first one we're going to talk about comes out in January and is called Dragons and Dungeons by Christy Boyce. I read one book by this author in the past and really liked it. This cover is pink. I will attach it here. It comes out January 9th. I actually just got approved for an e-arc of this, so I want to read this early. But yeah, here's the photo. The tagline is, when it comes to romance, sometimes it doesn't hurt to play games. A fun YA rom-com full of fake dating hijinks. I think it's fake dating. You have a musical lover whose biggest aspiration is to be a director on Broadway. And you have a boy that is like a gamer, and then they have to like fake date by joining Nathan's Dungeons and Dragons game. And yeah, I think that they have to fake date, and I think the fake dating turns so real. So I'm really excited for this one. And I have liked Christy Boyce's books before. So I'm really excited for this one. And it comes out in January, which is an early read for my list, which is great. I talk about these lists a lot, but I will mention it more in my goals video because I'm going to revamp my reading game and the list will be a part of it. So yeah. And then the next book I'm going to chat about is coming out in February. It's by Erin Hahn. I've read a bunch of stuff by Erin Hahn, but this is her YA book. I haven't read any of her adult stuff. I may do a project with that, so keep a nose out. But it's called Even If It Breaks Your Heart, and it comes out in February. I will attach a photo here. This book actually comes out, I think, in February, and it's a heart-buckling ride of a romance by a beloved author about two teens finding out that sometimes the hardest part of discovering what you want is getting the courage to pursue it. And all of her books tend to have like a grief element to it, and it has a really, really pretty cover. I think it has to do with horseback riding. I'm very excited, and I want to read it. So I actually have an e-arc of this one, so it may get read sooner rather than later, but yeah. Very excited for this one, and it comes out in early February. And the next book on my list by authors that I've read before is The Perfect Guy Doesn't Exist by Sophie Gonzalez. This comes out in March. I will attach a photo here. I read You're Never Getting Back Together and did like that. So this premise sounds fun. It's a fanfic writer brings her favorite TV character to life in this friends to enemies to lovers novel full of humor and heart. So I'm intrigued by the friends to enemies to lovers novel because I like that trope a lot. Her parents are away. She's planning to watch her favorite fantasy TV show. And then the character from the TV show winds up in her life. Oh my god, it gives me Julian the Phantom vibes. Oh, that sounds really, really cool. Her books are always a bit queer, too. I'm intrigued. So yeah, that sounds really, really fun. Maybe with a bit of like a paranormal element or like a light magic element. So yeah, this one comes out in March. Hopefully I get to read it soon, and hopefully it will make my reads in 2024. I'd love to hear your thoughts if you have read Sophie Gonzalez and what's your favorite. And the next book we are going to chat about is Wild About You. It comes out in May 2024, and it is by Caitlin Hill. I will attach a photo here. Alright, the next book I'm going to chat about actually comes out in, I think it comes out in April, and it's by Abby Jimenez. I have really liked all of Abby Jimenez's books that I read, and this is a sharp, scintillating summer novel that will make writers laugh out loud and cry happy tears. And I don't really want to know too much about this, but I think it's like a summer romance that kind of goes awry. I have liked all her other books, and I'm excited for this one as well. I think it has to do with like her dating to try to find her true love and things don't go according to plan. But it comes out in April and I am excited to read it. And then the next book I have been waiting for a while, and that is The Ballad of Darcy and Russell by Morgan Matson. She hasn't come out with a YA contemporary, like a pure YA contemporary, in a while. So I'm really excited for this one, and it comes out in May 2024. And I will try to give you a concise summary. We will see how good I am at that. So this book, I'm just going to read you the summary. It's been a bit since she put something out, like purely like for this genre, so I'm excited. She wrote a YA, she wrote a middle grade, she wrote an adult, she's writing one for Disney. But it says, comes a sweeping romantic novel about love, fate, and the one night that can change everything. I think one of the characters believes in love at first sight, and she believes she's found her mate, and I don't think the other boy is that convinced, and it's one night that can change everything. It comes out in May. I have liked everything that Morgan Matson has written, so I'm really excited, but I think this is kind of tackling fate and destiny and soulmates and all that other stuff, so I'm very excited. Her books always hit, and her books always have like a deep friendship element. Her last book she wrote, I think it's not The Night We Said Nice, but Take Back the Night or something, was all about friendship. So hopefully this has a bit more of a balance, because that one I felt the romance was a little bit lacking, but I'm really excited for this one. And then the next book we're going to talk about is actually two. We're going to talk about Eris Takes All by Emily Weberly and Austin Sigmund Broca. And here's a photo. It comes out in June. This is like a romance, but it's also like an Ocean 11 element. There has like a heist element to it, I think. But it comes out in May. It comes out in June, and I'm really excited for this one. And also, The Breakup Tour by Emily Weberly and Austin Sigmund Broca. This is their adult debut. Here is a photo. Comes out in January, and this has to do with like the rock star scene. I think it's Second Chance, which I love Second Chance, and I've really liked the one adult book that I read by them. But yeah, this has a music theme, and I'm so excited. So I really hope that I get around to it quickly rather than later. Yes, and the next book we're going to talk about is Business Casual by B.K. Borison. This is coming out in June. I will attach a photo here. Business Casual comes out in June 25th. And again, this is one that I'm very excited for, obviously. And it follows Nova and Charlie. And I think that two opposites will find out if their one night together is enough to get each other out of their systems in the final book in the beloved Love Light Farm series. So I think this is like a one night stand, maybe leads to more. I'm really excited, and it comes out in June, and I'm really excited to see what B.K. Borison writes next, because this series has really, really worked for me. And the next book we are going to chat about is A Novel Love Story by Ashley Poston. It comes out in June. I will attach a photo here. I have no idea what this book's about. I just know that it has a paranormal element to it, or like a light magic, just like her other books, and I'm here for it. So I'm not going to bore you with the summary. I will definitely read it, and I'm excited. It's also coming out earlier. All her other ones came out, I think, in like late fall, so this is a bit of an early one for her. And then another book that is coming out in the summer that I'm very excited for, that's a companion, is The Undermining of Twyla and Frank by Megan Bannon. I will attach a photo here. And this is a companion, a cozy fantasy, that's the same author of The Undertaking of Wrath and Mercy, and it is a companion book, so I'm really excited for that one as well. And it comes out again in July 2024, so make sure that's on your list, and I will attach the photo at some point in this so you can look at it. Next book I'm going to chat about comes out in August and is Kisses, Codes, and Conspiracies by Abigail Hayne Wen. And this has a bit of a mystery heist element to it, sort of like Eris Takes All, which I'm really excited for. It comes out in August. Here's a photo, and I'm very excited for this one. The last book on this list is The Breakup Pack by Emma Lord. This is her foray into adult books. I'm really excited. I have loved all of Emma Lord's books. She also has The Getaway List coming out in early 2024, but I already read it, so it's why it's not on this list. But yeah, let me know in the comments what are some books coming out in 2024 that you're really excited for. I would love to know, and I will see you tomorrow for another day of BookMas. Bye.